Welcome to Create a Wow Life. My name is Jessica Peterson. I am a real estate agent out in beautiful sunny Florida and the founder of Simply Wow Agency. I am excited to go ahead and reveal to you different ways you can wow people, your business, and you. Definitely, many of you have wowed me. If I can connect you with the right people, resources, house, or business, let me know. Are you ready to create a wow life? Don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Jessica Peterson here. I'm a real estate agent out in beautiful sunny Florida. And today I'm in my office, also the founder of Simply Wow Agency. I say it's simple. Wow people, your business, and you. And today I have the amazing Ana Maria with us. Hey.
Hey girl, how are you?
Doing really good. Doing really good. I know last minute we're hopping on this. We're doing this recording. So last minute we didn't have time to make us all do our hair and everything else fancy because we are going to get straight to the point on a really hot subject right now. And I am being asked almost daily. And I am sharing with so many people that they need to know you. I want to say, first of all, I'm grateful to you to come with me about your company. And we came up with the name Confident Closers. Congratulations.
Yes. You're grateful. I'm even more so because you're the one who are like, oh, confident closers. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, I had the privilege of getting to know you and really know your mission, your vision, and it just came. I mean, I love naming companies who are all about doing good things. So the popular question and the reason why we're both hopping on last minute is confidence. People keep coming to me saying, Jessica, how do you have confidence? What's your secret to confidence? We want more confidence. Am I perfect at confidence? No. Heck no, right? Nobody's perfect, right? So I wanted to step back and really create this so then I could say, oh, I have a video and there's someone you should know and just get it out there. And it's not just women with the confidence. I'm discovering a lot of males as well. So we're going to dive into this. I want to share some of my insider info, and I know you probably have a lot more value to give and deliver today to anyone listening. So you ready to go?
Let's do it. Let's do it. So, well, first of all, do you just want me to share what confident closers is or like what direction are we going?
I know this is so last minute, totally unscripted, right? So I do want to do that, and I definitely want to do that and sprinkle that throughout today. I want to get right straight to the point though, so people can start having something they can implement today for confidence for them.
Okay.
So the first thing that I found for me, and I want to hear from you, you're the expert and you have a lot of customers that you coach on this, is I really find to dig deep and figure out why. Why do I have these confidence issues? Is it something recently? Is it something from childhood? What I've discovered is there's a correlation for adults. It's usually something that's happened from our childhood we haven't addressed at all. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to agree 100%. And so, and even to bring it to make it even more simple, rather than asking yourself why you lack confidence or whatnot, focus on the scene or the scenario where you find yourself that you are maybe a little more insecure, or not sure whether you should or you're good enough. As we like to say, am I good enough for that? Can I do that? Of course you can. Of course, there are some parameters, but if it's something that's, in your wheelhouse, if it's something that it's part of, your career, your path, I mean, a lot of the times we doubt ourselves to get to the next level because we don't feel competent enough, or because, like you were saying, it's that little girl, that little boy inside us who is saying, hey, stop, wait, and reminding you of times where you exposed yourself, right? You position yourself in a place of unknown. Therefore, because we don't know, we've had experiences in the past that our subconscious mind is holding on to. It's just raising that flag of like, hey, you might walk into something that might make you feel how you felt before, right? And so number one is do not doubt yourself. And when in that situation, ask yourself, why am I feeling like you were saying, why am I feeling like this? And why? And why? And why? Like a little kid, because that's all
Yes.
they do. You know, those little kids are 2, 3 years old. But why? But why? But why? And that's exactly what
Yes.
we need to do with ourselves.
I really like that. So the next area I wanted to go ahead and highlight is really looking at your value. Everybody has value. We all have our own unique talents. What a boring place, I've said this before, if the world was all Jessica's. I mean, that would
Yeah.
not be very fun, right? So I always say, look at your strengths. And if you don't know, I actually coached a real estate agent. She goes, I don't know. So she started asking her friends, where do you think my value is? What do you like about me? And she said it was so eye-opening, and it gave her that confidence. And now she's just excelling, right?
Yes.
So everybody has their own strengths. For
And
myself,
weaknesses.
what was that, Ana Maria?
I said strengths and weaknesses. We're all so unique. We all have a little bit of it all. And so, I just believe that, let's just talk about a specific situation. If you are, I guess the number one reason why we lack confidence, or we allow the fear or lack of confidence come in, is the fear of rejection, the fear of failing, the fear of, not being good enough on that, the fear of having a finger pointed at us, and worse than anybody else, what we're going to tell ourselves if we fail, right? Because we are our own worst enemy. It's not even what people are not going to come to our face. We are creating that perception that we're going to be rejected, but really the only person who's rejecting is you. You are rejecting you because perhaps we're not meeting the standards that we believe we should meet, or because we're putting ourselves in vulnerable situations. And so that makes us feel weak or fearful. And so it's being able to be self-aware and to acknowledge the fear. It's not to say, oh no, you don't exist, you're not real. No, no, no. We want to acknowledge how we're feeling. We want to really get down to the bottom of that, and then allow yourself to do and to find out whether you are going to fail or you're not. And if you do fail, that is not a bad thing. We have this mentality of like, oh my gosh, if I fall, if I fail, then I'm a failure. No, you're not. Any successful person out there has had to try things many, many, many times, and have had to fail many, many, many times. We hear in the music industry how, well, it's not success. There's no overnight success. That's true in every single industry. Nobody has overnight success. I know, Jessica, you've been in the industry for a very long time. I've been in this path and joined the industry that you're in 4.5 years ago. But you don't believe, I mean, it's been 10 years of like, how am I ever going to be able to build this brand? And trying, trial and error. And yes, it could be exhausting. And so that's why it's important also to have a community around you of other like-minded individuals, because we're human, and we are going to feel down about ourselves, and we are going to, life will affect us as much as aware as we can be. It's not what's affecting you, it's how you allow it to affect you, right? Like we say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And so it all boils down as well to perception. But yeah.
Okay, I love so many things you're saying I can absolutely relate to. So first of all, get down to the why. The next one, really look at your value, what makes you so unique, right? And I know that there's nobody in my area for real estate that holds some of the stuff I do. So that automatically boosts the confidence. I also love what you said, look at weaknesses. I definitely have my weaknesses. I always say I'm a recovering perfectionist. I've
Love it.
That's what I always say. I'm a recovering perfectionist, right? It's so overrated now anymore. I'm just like, just keep it raw and real. So, but I do have that tendency to come in every now and then in my life. And I love what you said as far as whom you're surrounded with. Because at the end of the day, we only have so much room in our life. I wrote about it in one of my books, as you know. We only have so much room on our private jet or a bus. And when someone leaves, it's okay. Sometimes we got to kick people off that bus or a private jet to allow room for the right people. And at the end, the right people will be there. Something else you said I like is comparing, I would say. Stop comparing. We get in this, oh, well, what if I'm not good enough like so-and-so or like so-and-so? It's so funny because I've had moments where I'm like, I can't believe I'm meeting this person, you know, like this. And then the person, and then I've had this happen a couple of times. The person said, I can't believe I'm meeting you. I'm like, what? I'm sitting here thinking, I can't believe I'm meeting you, right? It's that perception, that whole comparison, thinking they're so, you put them on this higher pedestal. And I'm like, so stop comparing yourself because
Yeah.
you have your own unique value. What are your thoughts on that, Ana Maria?
I agree 100%. And when we start comparing ourselves, what we do is we lose strength. We lose positive energy. We allow insecurity to come in. And hey, it happens to the best of us. I mean, Jessica, I'm guilty as well. But what's the conversation to be had? Why am I feeling like this? Right? Like if we're feeling maybe in some sort of way intimidated by other people and or whether we're going to meet their standards, it's like, why? And then, being able to acknowledge the person's, great things that they've accomplished and what they've done, but also the great things that you have to offer in this, relationship, and the great things that you've accomplished, and how both of you are actually in alignment to want to, meet one another and or connect. So we tend to overestimate everybody else and underestimate ourselves. No matter how confident we are, I think it's something that we do subconsciously.
Okay, that's so well said. So well said there. Another thing that's really helped me as well is, especially before I gave my TEDx pose, I'll never forget the gentleman before me and after me, they start panicking, and then I start panicking, right? And so it's that power pose. Anybody listening, look it up. It's my favorite TEDx. Amy talks about the power pose, right? And it's proven it boosts that confidence up in you. Do you power pose, Ana Maria?
So when the few times that I spoke in public, I did have to get my energy levels going. And so funny, I would start jumping and just moving my hands and just start jumping because that would help I don't know what, I'm not into body understanding or what, but it would get just like your whole energy going, and it puts you in a position of calm. And so, when you are nervous and you step on a stage or whatever it is, or in front of your boss or a client for that matter, you're meeting your client the first time, or, you're doing a seller's a listing presentation, right? And you're nervous. What happens? You start trembling, your voice starts sounding different, your heart starts beating super fast, and it's that. So how do you handle that situation? And so at times when needed be, that's what I would do. And I learned that from speakers.
Yes. And so what's helped me is the power pose. You go like this.
Uh-huh.
You can do it for a minute or two. So start testing that. So anyone watching, put your hands behind your head, start power pose, and check out Amy. She's a rock star. It boosts that whole confidence, that whole, yeah, boost it. I would say
like walking with a straight, standing straight, that gets you up. It boosts your confidence as well. But I think all those are great things. More than anything, it's here, right? It's what we allow to cook in our head, right? What we entertain, and our thoughts are very powerful. And so I highly recommend start journaling about the things you're grateful for, start maybe journaling about your goals. I think that's why it's so important to look back at your goals, look at the things that you've accomplished. So that way you're keeping yourself constantly on this positive, healthy mindset of who you are, rather than focusing on who you're not yet, or, what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
We focus a lot, we spend a lot of energy on trying to fix ourselves or trying to become better at what we're not, rather than being nice to ourselves, acknowledging and perhaps focusing on what we do have and who we are and what we can do. And then things will just start falling into place when we do that. Our mindset changes, therefore our energy changes, therefore what we attract, our environment changes. And when that happens, we attract people, we attract opportunities, and we allow ourselves to receive. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh man, there's so many different thoughts racing through my head right now. I'm like, well, I like this point. I like this point. She said, all these different points and different avenues. Okay, let's talk about the gratitude. I firmly believe in that. That's been life changing for me. I actually posted that today on Facebook. Every night I will come up with 5 new things I'm grateful for. I have it in my book, Create the Perfect Day, which I know you've read, and the latest version is Create a Wow Life. And that gratitude's been life changing and in my life. So thank you for sharing that. I encourage everybody to be doing
Yes.
that. And my girlfriend Roblyn said something a week ago that really stuck with me. So it's like a bird. If a bird lands on your head, most people don't want a bird hanging out in their head, you know. So you shoo it off, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you allow that bird, it could be a negative thought to stay on your head and not shoo it away right away. It could start getting comfortable, start building a nest, start making a home, and it gets
Yeah.
more difficult. And I thought that was a really powerful illustration. Have you ever heard that before?
I have not heard of that illustration, but it makes total sense. The more you allow that to sit there, the
Mhm.
more it's going to find it's going to create its own home and space and is going to live there. And so, yes, totally, like just kick it right off. Like, nope, you don't belong here.
Out of
Bye.
here, out of here, right? Out of here. And thoughts are really powerful. Easier said than done.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's absolutely and it can have a powerful effect. I used to always tell my daughter, and I still do, if you think you're happy, you're happy. If you think you're sad, you're sad.
Yep.
So you have a choice. And I used to tell her she was always a rock star, and it was so cute because when she was, I think it was first or second grade, I can't remember now, the teacher came out one day and said all the kids had an assignment to talk about their everyday life. And a lot of it was I played my sibling or I played my pet. She had no siblings, no pet. And she goes, every day I'm a rock star.
I love it.
And the teacher just thought, and she's like, yeah, no doubt about it, I'm a rock star. So, and she has an amazing voice too. I mean, I have no voice. Let's just keep that.
She has a
That
lot of
does not.
talent from what I see.
Yeah, I have no singing. That will not boost anyone's confidence. They heard me sing. Okay, so I'm looking down here because I did take notes like 2 minutes before we hopped on. I was like, I'm just going to take some notes to make sure I don't miss anything. I want to say really be clear on your purpose or your why
Yes.
and aligning with the right people. I believe again that illustration kicking people off. I deleted someone I love, I respect as a friend on social media. And I did that because we weren't in alignment with the same purpose and why. And it was actually putting me on a path I didn't want to go down or be.
Yeah.
And it started kind of bring down my confidence level a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so really clearing out
Yeah.
the
And
people,
that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll say, and just being really focused on your purpose or your why.
Yes. And I think that, if we had to put in order how to work on building your confidence, number one, it would be, right, getting real with yourself, allowing yourself to start asking within, right? And doing the inner work and the inner why. Number two is, if we are in business, and let's just focus on our industry, right? In business, the more clear you are with your why, the more clear you are with your purpose. If the more in alignment you are with your brand, and support, create a platform, basically, just let me not get into that, but the more aligned you are with your brand, with your purpose, with all that, the more confidence you have, because then again, with our, having all those steps clear, then we're not putting out energy of confusion. See, the more clear we are right here, clear with you and clear with what you want to do or how you want to do it, then the more positive energy you have around your, just your spirit, just, you're just on another level of energy. And so you start attracting more opportunities, and you start attracting things that are in more alignment. Therefore, your confidence level continues to go up. But we can't pretend to build our confidence on, our business or what we can do right now when we're not working here. We have to start with ourselves. And yeah, you can maybe go out there and say, oh, well, I'm going to build this for myself and I have this much money, so I'm going to make it all look great, beautiful, and dandy. Now you've positioned yourself in a way that everybody is like, whoa. And now you need to meet those standards. And because you have, and then you're not able to meet those standards for whatever reason, what you're doing is the opposite. You're making yourself more insecure. You're making yourself, you're doing the opposite subconsciously. And so, if confidence or if courage or if fear, it's strong in your life, and not confidence, lack of confidence. If fear and all this emotions are strong in your life, I highly, highly, highly would recommend, to start from the root, and that begins with us, right? As to why, because once we're good, we are the root. We are the, the root of we're the trunk of that tree. And if once that trunk it's healthy and it's strong, then anything that comes out of it, it's great. And so don't start, with the leaves, start with the trunk. You.
Okay, so what you said clicked to me an aha moment as an illustration. So comes from within, right? Now look at all these amazing cards I've received recently, and I've got a set more, and I'm so grateful. Does it boost my confidence? Yes, of course it does, right? Does it rely on that for confidence? No. So my confidence comes from within. Absolutely comes within. You don't want to be dependent on others. Still be careful whom you hang out with, because it's just like if someone was to keep chopping down that tree and that trunk, right? It starts getting away.
Yep.
So you definitely want to make sure you're going to do work on you solid and maintain it, right? What's going to be your fertilizer to keep you very fruitful.
There we go. I like that. We're getting very creative here with analogies.
Okay, so affirmations. I personally don't use them. I have before, and they come and go in my life. I know a lot of people like them. I do believe in them. What are your thoughts on that for confidence, Ana Maria?
So affirmations are great. I personally find my value and my worth and who I am in my faith. So however, affirmations, it's basically the same, right? It's just confirming and telling yourself, who you believe you are, or who you believe, your beliefs and the things that you know about that perhaps, you're not constantly telling ourselves, because then again, we're constantly looking for ourselves to be perfect. So we are constantly criticizing ourselves. And it's important that, even though I'm not telling you, obviously it's a good thing to criticize ourselves, because that keeps us to a certain standard, I would say, but nothing of too much is good. So, we also, the same way we're pouring into ourselves, hey, Anna, you got to do better here. And I'm telling, hey, Anna, I also need to be telling myself, hey, Anna, you're great. Hey, Anna, you did amazing, and affirming, the things that I know that perhaps I'm not consciously telling myself. So yes, affirmations are amazing. Anything that's going to keep you in a positive mindset, and not necessarily positive, but in a cup half full mindset rather than a cup half empty.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yes, perception is powerful.
Oh my gosh, it's everything. Perception is everything.
Yes, and that's why my magazine, Luxure Lifestyle, some people call it Luxr Lifestyle. It's our theme is redefining luxury.
Yeah.
Because what's luxury to you may not be to someone else. So at the end of the day, it just comes down to your perception, your thoughts. Well, I'm grateful for you. Anything else you have to add to anyone watching, listening?
Absolutely. Well, I have a great podcast, which is called The Confident Closers. And so this is a podcast specifically for the situations where we find ourselves either comparing to others or thinking that we're the only ones, are going through this, or we're not as lucky, if that's the word, as others. And so the Confident Closers podcast is basically a podcast for women, by women. We get to interview women in business. You've been on it, Jessica. Actually, your podcast is coming out this week or next week, as a matter of
party time.
Anyhow.
Party time.
But so anyhow, so yeah, so check it out, the Confident Closers. It's a platform where women get to share their personal stories, allow themselves to be vulnerable, and basically share with us how they've overcame certain challenges in their life, and they continue to do it. It doesn't matter what level of success we've reached. It doesn't matter what level in different areas of our lives. We will, as long as we're humans and we are in this body, we will continue to find challenges and feel and have fears and insecurities. And so my goal is to be able to empower as many women around the globe, so that through this podcast, so that they know that they're not the only ones, and can find relation between them and the other women to hopefully give them the courage that they need to overcome where they're at.
And you will. So share with us your story.
Yes. You want my story now?
Let's just do it. I want your story. Okay. I want your story.
Awesome. Well, real quick, I guess I'll give you guys a short version. I don't know what you guys were doing at the age of 14, but I know I was at the shopping mall, and I was inside a bathroom stall with my girlfriends taking a pregnancy test. So yes, teenage mom. My son is 22 today. So yeah, I'll give you guys the end of the story. However, I suffered a lot, or struggled a lot, with self-worth, with identity, with purpose, value. I showed up very secure, very confident, but not at all. Not at all. And so I lacked a lot of confidence. And I don't know if you guys know, but when I could talk for myself, very angry and bitter about just life itself, and wanting to show up confident, I think that I overdid it. And so there's a thin line between confidence and cockiness, and coming in and showing up in a way completely the opposite from what you're trying, because you're trying too hard, and you have this guard up. So anyhow, that was me. And long story short, years passed by, and it was always this battle. And because of that, I made really wrong choices in my life. I was always seeking for love and identity and purpose in people and things, and nothing was ever enough. Nothing was ever going to be enough, right? And so, I like to say that we can only put out what we put in. So if it's not in it, you can't give it, whatever that is. And at the age long, a lot of mistakes, a lot of learning experiences, a lot of, wow, I cannot believe God saved me from this and that. But he had a bigger plan. He had a real bigger plan. And so it was about 10 years ago, I personally had, after now having a second child, divorcing my husband, and still trying to figure it out, I had an encounter. I personally had a spiritual encounter with God, and it was through that relationship and through that encounter that I'm here now. That this person exists, and so when I found that gift, that that priceless. I don't know if you guys know that commercial of MasterCard, like
yes.
This is priceless, and honestly, yes. It's priceless. I knew that my purpose and my life's goal was to inspire other women and to share with women, my journey, my testimony, because it is, I'm super grateful for my testimony, by the way, all the struggles and everything that happened in my life. I mean, today I have a 22-year-old, a 16-year-old, my son is a Marine, and life hasn't been easy, but we've always gone at it, and I'm super grateful for where I'm at today. But with that said, I just knew, I know the feel, I know what it feels to to not feel good enough or to not be confident or to not feel secure. And so I know that there's a huge need out there, not just with us older women, but also, you know, our youth, especially our youth.
Yes.
So Confident Closers, it's here to inspire and to encourage women and to share what has worked for Ana Maria, and to be able to my story and my programs and what I have to offer you, just to be able to help you get to that next level and to really get you to live the life you were created to live, right? Before we go, there's statistics show that women take longer than men to reach the age to reach full confidence, or yeah, full confidence. And so my actually women do this at the age of 50 or so. Men start at their full confidence level around 30. So what's happening is that a lot more women are dying regretting the things that they never did because of lack of confidence, courage, or their fears, right? And so my purpose, Confident Closer's purpose, is to lower that number of women who reach their deathbed with regrets because they didn't give themselves the opportunity to get to the other side. It's not that bad when we get to the other side of fear or insecurity. We're like, what? Was I fearful of this? Come on. So.
What was I thinking, right? Well, thank you for sharing your story. It's very inspirational. And thank you for Confident Closers and giving so much value. I appreciate you. So, anyone listening, don't forget to subscribe, share with all your friends about us, because I am on a mission to educate and learn from other great people like you, Ana Maria, on how to wow people, your business, and you. Have an amazing rockin' day. Have a wow day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.